Hello, welcome to the Junior WAEC 2021 Mathematics Questions Solution Solved. So here you can get these videos and watch the full tutorial of the 2021 Mathematics Solved. Call this number here, alright, so if you want to book your online mathematics tutoring, alright, so this is courtesy of Daniel Math Academy. Now let's get started by looking at the question. So here we have question number one. Now question one here says factorize am plus bn minus an minus bm. So here what we need to do is this. So we're going to write out the equation first. So we have am. So rather than as the equation, we have am, then we have plus bn, we have minus an, and then we have minus bm. So we ask to factorize this. Now one of the things we're going to do in factorization is always to take like terms, all right? So I'm going to give them different colors, all right? Now these different colors represent different. So this is and these are like them. Now remember, see something, as I'm taking this, see, I'm taking the signs. So am, there's a plus here, and I'm going to take all of this with including the sign, right? So I'm going to bring those two together, and that is going to give me am minus bm. So I'm going to group them, right? So bring them together first, and then the next I'm going to take these two. So these two are similar, right? You can see b, you can see a b and an n. So this is similar to this. Now I'm going to write that next. So writing that next, that's going to give me, now remember there's a plus first, so plus bn, then minus an. So we're done with that. Now we can say let's do some grouping. So let's bracket this and let's have this too. So having looked at this, now we now need to factorize. So we need to factorize. So what is common here? So I'm going to come back here. What is common between the am and bm? M is common, so I'm going to take m, and if I take m, what do I have? I have a in the bracket minus b. So you can see this. If I multiply this back, I have this expression here. Now I'm done with this. I'm going to move over to the next one. So this is going to become plus. What is common in these two? You can see that there's n here and there's n here. I'm going to factorize n. I'm going to bring that n out of the bracket, and what I have left is, if I take n from bn, I'm going to have b left, minus if I take n from an, I'm going to have a left. So now you can see that what um I have the same bracket here. So look at this, I have the same bracket here. So I'm going to take one of these. A minus b is and it's almost the same thing as b minus a, so just a change of sign. So I'm going to take one of the brackets here, which is a minus b, right? And then I'm going to take the coefficient of the first bracket, which is m, and I'm going to take the coefficient of the second bracket, which is plus n. So this is going to be plus n. So this is the answer to this question. I've been able to factorize this question. So I have a minus b and m plus n. So if you look at this, you can see that the option for this question is option A, right? It's option A minus b, and then we have m plus n. So this is the answer to this question. All right, so we're going to go to the next question now, and then we're going to continue the next question with that. Now see you in the next question. Let's look at question number two. Now in question number two, so I'm just going to quickly so question number two. Now so let's look at question number two. Now question number two here says simplify one whole number. Simplify one whole number. So let's use this one whole number 3 over 4 now minus two whole number 1 over 3 plus 4. This is what we have to simplify, right? Now, how do we simplify this question? We have to first of all understand the basic concept of solving algebraic expression, all right? So this is has to do, we have to use the concept of BODMAS. So for BODMAS, we have to look at BODMAS. So we look at bracket first, okay? So we'll come to bracket. Now this is going to become 1 whole number 3 over 4 minus, so we have to change this from mixed fraction to improper fraction. All right, so and the way to do that to proper fraction, the way to do that is um to multiply this 3 times 2, that's going to give you 6. Okay, look at this fraction here. This is the whole number and this is the fractional part. Now this fraction, so multiply the denominator of the fraction, which is 1 over 3 by 2. So 3 times 2 is going to give you 6. 6 plus 1 is going to give you 7. So this is going to be 7 all over the denominator, which is 3. So do this and add it to 4. So let's also do the same thing. Now if we do the same thing, let's also convert this. This is going to become, the denominator is always multiply the denominator by the whole number. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So this is going to give us 7 over 4. Then minus, this is going to give us, what's inside here is 7 over 3, and then plus 4. So now the easiest way to solve this is we're going to find the LCM, or you multiply. So for exam purpose, you just multiply. So I'm going to bring this part, so I'm going to single this part, bring this part out, and then I'm going to solve it here. So what do I have? 7 over 3 plus 4. What do you do? Simple steps. Multiply this by this. So multiply 3 by 4, that will give you 12. All right, add the answer to 7. So it's going to become 12 plus 7 all over the denominator 3. All right, so if you add 12 to 7, that will give you 19 over 3. So the whole all of this answer is 19 over 3. So I'm going to come back and maintain what I had before. I had 7 over 4 before, then minus the new answer. Now minus the new answer which I have here, which is 19, over 3. So now from here, I'm still going to look for the LCM. Now the LCM of 4 and 3 is 12. So you can use this method, or the next method that you can use here is going to be, so you can cross multiply. So multiply this by this. 3 times 7, these are all short method for example purpose. So 3 times 7 is equal to 21. So have 21, then minus, this is also going to become 4 times 19. So this is going to be 4 times 19. So this is how you multiply them. 4 times 19. So what's 4 times 19? 19 times 4. This is going to give us 4 times 9 is 36, and 6 carry 3. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7. So it's going to give you 21 minus 76. All right, all divided by 4 times 3 is going to give us 12. So this is the solution to this. Now let's subtract. What is 76 minus 21? This is going to give us 5, and this is going to give us 5, all right? So this is going to give us 55. So the answer is going to become minus 55 divided by 12. So how many times will 12 go into 55? So you can already look at the answer. You see that we're already close to the answer here. Don't forget we have a minus. So 12 times 4 is 48, right? Now 12 times 5 is 60. So it's not up to 5. So the closest answer is 4. So this is going to give us minus 4 whole number. Now remember, 4 gave us 48. So 48 minus 55. So 55 minus 8 minus 48. Alright, so that's going to give us 7. So it's going to become minus 4 whole number, 7 over 12. So this is the answer to this question. 12 will go into 55 4 times. Don't forget there's a minus here already. 12 will go into 55 4 times, and remainder 7 over 12. So that's how you convert from improper fraction to mixed fraction. So this is the answer to this question. And you look at what we have here in our options, you see that the answer is option C, minus 4 whole number, 7 over 12. Now let's go over to the third question as we go. Remember, if you don't understand, you can pause the video and quickly go over it step by step. Now let's look at question number 3. Okay, now let's go to question number 3. Number 3 says write 0.142 in standard form. Write 0.142 in standard form. Now what we need to do in standard form is that in standard form, this 0 here is regarded as a non-zero. because okay, so this 0 is regarded as a non-zero because it is immediately after the decimal point. So we are going to make sure that standard form are numbers written in the form whereby the point is between the whole the non-zeros, right? So this is a 0 and the non-zeros is 1, 4, 2. So these are regarded as whole number. So this point needs to move from here to the nearest one, and the next point is between is between 1 and 4. Nearest whole numbers is between 1 and 4. So if we move this point, how many times we moving this point? 1 times, and it's going to come in here. So the answer now becomes 1.42. So if you move the point once times 10 raised to the power minus 1. Remember, whenever you move from left to right, from left to going to your right is 10 raised to the power minus, then from your right down to your left is 10 raised to power positive sign. All right, positive sign. So this is the answer to this question. And if you look at this on the option, you see that the answer to the question is option B, 1.42 times 10 raised to power minus 1. So this is the answer to this question. I hope you understand this. So let me give another example so that you can understand more clearly. So if I have another number, let's say I have the number 0.0367, and I'm asked to write this number in standard form. So basically my goal should be to move this decimal point from the zeros to the non-zeros. The first non-zero is 3 and 6. So how many times am I going to move this decimal point? So I'm going to move from here, it's going to become 1 and 2. You can see that movement. All right, you can see that movement. So let's look at it again. It's going to become 1 and 2. So this my point is going to be between 3.67 times 10 raised to power. Now this 10 raised to power always indicates how many times we've moved. So from here we moved once, and we moved the second time twice. So it's going to become minus 2. So moving 2 times will become a minus 2. Moving once gives us minus 1. If you move 3 times, it gives you minus 3, and so on and so forth. So that's how we convert these decimal numbers to standard form. So this is the answer to this question. I hope that this is clear. You can pause the video and go over it again. So now, just to give you, I'd like you to pause the video and do this. So this is your class activity. What is going to be write the number? I like you to write the number. I like you to write the number 0.0578 in standard form. Then also I'd like you to write the number 0.00316 in standard form. Pause the video, do this, and use this as your personal practice work. So quickly, we are going to um, go over to question number 4. But you can pause the video and look at these two activities before you move on to question number 4. Moving on to question 4, we have to express 440 as a product of its prime factors in index form. Now, so what I'm going to do, I would like us to pay real good attention as we look at the solution to this question. So now remember, the number we have is 440 right now. So I'm going to use the tree diagram, right, to solve to explain this question. Now let's pay attention to this. So I'm going to first of all look at, remember, prime factors are those numbers that can divide itself, all right, and 1 can are divided by itself, all right, and 1 alone. So let's look at the prime factors of 40. So that means what numbers can you multiply together to give you 40? All right, now, so the first number we're going to always I just want to test, always test. So we're looking at, so the simplest number we can look at this, we divide this by 2. So 440 divided by 2, this is going to give us 220. So this first number, the two factors is 2 and 220. All right, so now we are done with this. We're going to take this again further. So taking this further again, this is now going to, because we're going to look for numbers, two numbers that can multiply 220. So what are those numbers? You can see what we're still working with 2. Remember, so if I take this and divide 220 by 2, it's going to give me 110. So this is now